Hey, this is Muddy Taco. Today I'm going to be building a CCM T2. Got number 205 to be exact. This is my personal gun. I've used it a couple times. But I was making a pump handle for it and I got aluminum shavings all over it, so I went ahead and tore it down. So just to make sure there wasn't any shavings on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild it from the ground up, show you what all goes into it. I believe I counted 83 parts, including O-rings and screws and all that. To do this, you're going to need a set of Allen keys. This set actually comes with it. You also need a T10 torque wrench. That also comes with the gun right here. It is missing a 5/16 Allen key in this set, which you'll need for the top of the regulator, which you'll see in a little bit. I'm going to be using my own set of Allen keys that I use for everything. I got a T10 torque that's like a screwdriver type. It's a lot easier to use. You're going to need a cocker valve tool. This is a new designed one. Stainless steel, has a swivel top at the top, so you can actually put more torque on it. It's really nice. You need blue Loctite for a few of the screws. You'll need some grease. I use Dow 33, sleek, it's the same thing. Oil's optional on a few parts. I'm going to show you where you can put it. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, before we get started putting everything together, I'm going to show you a few tricks that can help you out a little bit and make the gun just a little bit smoother than it already is stock. What I did, I went ahead and polished all these parts by hand. This right here is the trigger pin, bolt pin, hammer, sear, AT arm, just a little cam part right here, the guide for the front, and you got the two pump arms. It takes about 15 minutes for everything. Just put jeweler's rogue on a buffing wheel. It's basically a bench grinder with a buffing pad on it. It just makes the stroke that much smoother when you're using it. This is all metal on metal contact parts, and it just smooths it out. Makes it a little bit nicer. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with the regulator. There's really not that much to it. You got the top and the bottom part split in the middle by threads. This is all the top assembly right here. This is the bottom assembly, the adjustment screw. To do this, you're going to need a 5/16 Allen key, the one I told you about that doesn't come in the kit, and then you also need a 3/16 and some dowel. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with the top right here. See that little hole up there? All these parts assemble and go in there. So it basically has the spring, the piston. Put some grease on the O-ring right here. Basically the spring goes on the piston right here. The O-ring slides down on the shaft. And then this all assembles, this gold part right here. This all goes on the top. What it does, it looks like that when it's assembled inside the top tube. Go ahead and put some dowel on this other O-ring. It's basically everything just drops right into this hole right here. This is where you need your 5/16 Allen key. Just thread it up into here until it's tight. And that's it for the top. Alright. Next, this gold part goes in first. It's actually what the screw pushes on to adjust the regulator. Just drop that in. Next you'll have the spring, and then you'll have this cap right here. Take some dowel. Put it around the O-ring. This slides in with the top part sticking up. Flat side goes down. Alright, take some dowel. Put it around the O-ring right here. Let's go ahead and thread this together. This place has, it actually has a milling on this. Put a wrench on it, but you can do it by hand. And then you just take adjustment screw. This threads in the bottom, and you're going to want to tune this to around 300 psi to start with. What that equates to, just doing it by hand, is you want the screw to flush to just a little past flush, and that'll get you right around 300, and then you have to fine tune it from there if you don't have a gauge or a reg test or anything like that. But that's the regulator. Alright, next up we're going to go ahead and start with the trigger frame. For this you're going to need an 1/8 inch Allen key and a 5/64 Allen key. You're going to go ahead and start with the trigger. Just drop it in from the top. Then you're going to take this little pin right here that has the screw on the end of it threaded. Drop it in, take your 1/8 inch Allen key. Screw it in until it's tight. And that's the trigger it's in right now. You're going to go ahead and take the spring, and it drops in from the top. And it actually rests. There's a milled portion right there that sticks out that it rests on. You're going to take your sear, drop it in. Once you have it lined up, I'm going to go ahead and drop in this pin first. And next, this little set screw is actually what holds the pin in place. You're going to take 5/64 Allen key, screw this in until it's tight. Next, you'll have the AT arm. What that does is just sticks in, and then this pin right here actually drops in into the top of the frame. And what that does, it holds it in and keeps it from pulling out. And then last, I'm going to stick on grips. Once again, it uses the 5/64 Allen key for the grip screws. But since these are plastic or Lexan or acrylic, not really sure what they are, you don't want to tighten them down real tight because they will crack. The black ones are the same way. It's made from the same material. But there you go. That's the grip frame.